Hi, I'm Maggie Langrick. I'm the publisher at Lifetree Media. We are a hybrid publisher of books that help, heal, and inspire. And our mission as a company is to make a difference in the world by helping experts like Dr. Vanessa LaPointe make their difference in the world. This is our second interview with Dr. Vanessa, so in case you missed it, let me just recap who this wonderful woman is. She is a mother, she is a two-time author, she is an educator and a child psychologist, and the founder of a clinic that has helped hundreds, if not thousands, of parents and children and families over the year. Vanessa, welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Thank you for taking the time to share your expertise with our viewers. In the last video, you talked about the importance of fostering dependence as opposed to focusing on raising an independent child. Tell me, how can you separate out what your child really needs from just what they want?
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of parents, when they start to hear the kinds of things that I recommend and the way that I suggest, we really ought to be flowing into this thing called parenting, they get worried. Because it starts to sound a little like what I call flowery meadows parenting. You know, like where you just like release them to the flowery meadows and watch them blossom. That is not what this is about at all. We have actually, as parents, been sold a myth. And the myth is that we are here to make our children happy. And sometimes if you listen to the kinds of things that I'm talking about, you think, okay, that's our job. We're supposed to make this all be sunshine and roses, and we're supposed to pave the path and remove all the impediments and really make sure it's all easy peasy for our kids. That is not how healthy child development goes down. Children actually need to struggle. They need to feel challenged. They need to come to terms with the things in life that cannot be changed, to actually feel the futility of that in order to grow and become adaptive, resilient kind of humans. And so if we are catering to every single women want, we actually have sold out. We aren't parenting. We aren't in the lead position, inviting our children to lean in on us. We're actually running from behind, trying to just feed into these perceived needs of our children because of our own programming.
In your book, one of the real central concepts is the see it, feel it, be it model. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so I developed that motto in order to keep parents and other big people on track when it comes to really responding to what is happening for the child, rather than getting stuck in all the behaviors and the noise and the inconvenience of it all. And so see it, feel it, be it is just 3 steps. See it. Oh, look, there's my kid on the floor of the grocery store having the mother of all meltdowns. It'll take you half a second. And very interestingly, most of the parenting literature, and certainly a lot of our dominant parenting pop culture, begins and ends right there. So, I don't like this meltdown, I'm gonna squash it. I invite parents to move past see it. Have see it be only a millisecond. And then go into feel it. And feel it is when you go behind the behavior. So you have a loud, angry, tantruming child. You go behind that into the heart and the soul of the child. What's there? What do you see? You don't see a child who's trying to manipulate you. You don't see a child who's trying to push your buttons. You don't see a child who's embarrassing you on purpose. You don't see any of those things. What you see is a little person who's struggling. And we know that little people who are struggling need big people to help them rather than to jump in and join the struggle, right? And so when you can feel it for your child, you immediately put on eyes that see them anew. You're able to look at them with compassion. You're able to look at them with a big, juicy, caring heart. And then be for them what it is that they need for you to be. There is another layer that I've added to feel it. And so it's see it, feel it, then be it. And one of the things that I talk about a lot in my latest book is that when you're feeling it for your child, what you might notice is that that's very hard for you to do because you're standing in the grocery store lineup and everybody's boring holes into the back of your head with their judgmental stares because you've got that loud, annoying kid who won't be quiet and won't leave everybody in their peace as they wait to pay for their groceries.
And
right?
the pressure's on and your own emotions are escalating
right.
and your own kind of cascade of thoughts. Right. How do you handle that?
So let's talk about why your own emotions are escalating, why the cascade of thoughts has released a neurological cascade of stress now in your body. Why is that happening? We are never upset for the reasons that we think we are. That is not happening because your child is tantruming. That is happening because you've fallen into a hole. And the hole is, oh no, all these people think I'm a terrible parent. And so it isn't about your child, it's actually about you. And that's where see it, feel it for yourself. Recognize that if you're triggered or anything other than neutral or positive, this is about you, and you need to get to work on understanding the program that's directing that and why that's happening. And then you get to show up for your child. Then you can come out of this mess and into presence for your child so that you could be what they need you to be. See it, feel it, be it.
What I love about that is that, it offers parents a simple way to kind of snap out of it, instead of thinking like, what strategy am I going to pull out here? No, you just take a breath, really get present, and really notice that little person in front of you who really needs you to be there for them.
Yeah.
And now it's true, Dr. Vanessa, that some kids are going to respond differently than others. Some kids appear to be more resilient, and others are really going to give you a lot more material to work with. So can you tell us how we deal with the different temperaments of the children that we're raising?
Yeah, one of the best descriptions that I've ever come across in terms of really allowing us to understand temperament as a variable, as a way that we must really look upon our children individually for their own unique needs and their own unique exceptionalities, is to look at kids as being either orchid kids or dandelion kids. And this comes from the work of Tom Boyce and some of his colleagues back in the day, where they talked about orchid kids as being kids that have sort of a more intense set of needs because of how they're wired up, because of how they came into the world, compared to dandelion kids who are kind of a little more chill and go with the flow. As it happens, I have one of each. My first son was a dandelion. And he made me look like a really great mom. I thought I had this kind of going on in terms of how he appeared and the kinds of things that we experienced in the first years of life growing him up. He was always just kind of chill. And then his brother was born. And he's an orchid. And suddenly I was not a very good mom. It took me 6 weeks to figure out that singing to my baby, who would never stop crying, was actually making him cry more, because the sound of my singing voice was highly offensive to my orchid baby. That was sort of an early sign for what was to come. I've had to step in for my younger son in very, very different ways. I've had to, in fact, shield him from some experiences in the world, because those experiences would threaten at times to really sink his ship, to overwhelm him, to derail him developmentally.
This truth that they do come biologically wired to be ultra-sensitive or a little more hardy is really reassuring and encouraging.
Yeah, and it just also, once again, shines a light on how quick we are to go to, I'm doing it wrong, as opposed to, oh, I've got a little orchid.
Yeah. So I'm excited to talk to you. We're going to have to leave it there, but I'm excited to talk to you again in our next interview, when we're going to be talking about what to do when your child is crying, how to intervene and when, and what the feelings are that are going to come up, and and when to draw a line and when to swoop in. So I'm really looking forward to that. Will you come back and chat with us about that?
Yes, I will.
Great. Thank you for joining us.